So let me welcome Toastmaster Uma. Toastmaster Uma, call the shots. Call the shots, Toastmaster Uma.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Satish Menon. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. We had the Women's Day around the corner last week. And I just want to share some of my experience, what we did on that day and what are all the things we did as while we conducting something special on that day. We are a bunch of women who attend a dance class every weekend for fitness purpose. And suddenly we thought, okay, why don't we do something for the Women's Day? We decided, but we don't know what to do, how to do, when to do. And we got stuck. And then we decided, okay, every one of us are female, especially mothers. Why don't we conduct a parenting workshop so that it will be beneficial for everyone? That we decided, but we don't know, we don't have an idea on how to proceed. We just got stuck. So that time we learned something beautiful called setting a smarter goal with a date, time, content, theme, specific goal on what to do, which helped us to do with the planning. We learned the art of planning at that time once we decided how to do, what to do, when to do, and why to do. As we started working on this goal, every one of us started to take individual decisions. Every one of us are trying to move a statue which was in between on 10 different directions by 10 different people at the same time. We just want to move it, but we don't know how to do. That time, I decided to do a hard stop and suddenly became the deciding authority, calling the shots. And once I took up the reins, people started following, and we all decided, yes, let's have one deciding authority to take up the responsibility, and every one of us can work together on that time. While I took in charge of that occasion, I learned a lot of things, and I just want to share those things what I learned today with you all. First thing what I learned is leadership is not just about me. It's not about you. It's about the people who you lead, who you guide towards the goal. You may feel difficulty in finding the success as a leader because you need to focus the development on the project and about the people around you. You need to recognize the people to make them to grow into full potential. You have to identify the line between the dictator and the leader so that people might not feel frustrated when you give them orders or when you give them instructions to do. So you need to practice that self-care, not only focusing on your own contribution, but you have to focus on the various members of their contribution. So what I learned on that part is like delegation of tasks is very much important, and you have to be very clear on what they have to do from their part. That time I realized micromanagement is not about leader, is not a thing for a leader, and you need to believe on the people for them to do things. And the second thing I learned is we started to plan things, we started to discuss things, brainstorm lot of items. That time we encountered a lot of conflicts between each other. For one example, let me share. We just want to collect the input from the participants to get a pulse on what they want to hear. So I said, let us create Google Forms. Let us create Google Forms and share it with them. One form for parents, one form for students, kids, and one form for people who are not married, but they just want to learn on this out of curiosity. That time, my friend Kavita, she pitched in and said, Uma, why are you picking up so many Google Forms? It will be too lengthy, it will be complicated, people might not feel filling it up. Why don't you collate all these things in one single form, and after getting the responses, let us do the segregation and then let us find it out. That time I realized, and beautiful thing, it is not everyone are smart. The leader doesn't necessary to be smarter than everyone around in the group. A leader should be humble enough to listen to people in the gang to get their inputs so that everyone can learn and move forward. The third important thing I learned on that day is once you delegated the task, you need to give the freedom for the people to do it. I am a person who likes to follow at that, be the tail at the end for each and every person to know whether they have completed. I kind of have a little bit of OCD, like I want to have, like, if I have a process like A, B, C, D, I just want everyone to follow the A, B, C, D. It was so difficult for me to give them the task and give them the freedom. I was like tempted every 1 minute to take up my mobile just to type it up. What happened to that? What happened to that? What happened to that? But then I realized, no, just stop. Don't follow them for each and every minute. Give them the freedom to do it. Let them think about it. Let them do it. And then let them give the final product alone to you. That time I realized avoiding micromanagement is a very tough thing. But if you want to be a good leader, you have to understand and you have to give the freedom for people to do things. But you need to follow with them to make sure that they are completing it. And finally, on the day when we conducted the parenting workshop very successfully with people, with a lot of we got some close to some 253 participants on that day. It was a great success. And end of the meeting, I realized I should not take the complete credits of the project. I may have an overall authority, but I learned that I should share the credits with my entire team because without the team, a leader cannot be there. So finally, what I learned on this is that was one-stop experience for me, but I understood it is not a sprint. It is like becoming a leader is like a marathon. That is the first step for me to learn the aspects of the leader. But I understood I should challenge myself and embrace the grit every day and use those things, what I've learned on that day in my day-to-day life and also in the upcoming ventures, whatever we are going to do. And on that day, we decided the next event, I will not be the leader, but I will be one of the team members to help my friend, Punita, to become the next leader so that she can organize and she can also learn the aspects of the leader. These are all the lessons I learned on that day, and I'm so happy that I shared with you today. With that, let me close my speech.
And I will be the evaluator for Toastmaster Uma's speech. So Toastmaster Uma's project was all about lessons learned during implementing a project and its completion. So Toastmaster Uma, the topic that you had also picked up, or the subject of your topic, was a group that had got together at the dance class to celebrate Women's Day. Now, when we talk about projects and all, people would generally look about, say, it was a project at work, or it was a project which I was constructing something, or I was doing something which was kind of very complex. But you took upon a project which was just celebrating Women's Day at the dance club. Now, it's simple as it might sound, but what you brought out in the entire project is we need to understand a lot of things which go into executing a good project. So the first thing that you talked about in your speech was about the inclusive leadership, which is very, very important when we do anything, be it constructing a factory or do a project to celebrate Women's Day. How do we include all the people in the project so that everybody feels valued, everybody feels that they're contributing something, and no one feels left out of the whole system? And that's something which you explained very clearly as to how you kind of included people in the entire gamut of celebration of Women's Day, and not really had someone who was only giving orders and the others were only executing the orders. The second part that you talked about was delegation, which is also very, very important. And it's a challenge which most people run into, especially leaders, when they will kind of not know what they need to do. Okay, for a lot of them, it will be saying that I will tell everything, and people just need to follow me. Okay? But when you talk about inclusive delegation, it's about not following up with people continuously on what they're doing. Just tell them what to do, and they will do it. Okay? And the way you did that is an example of saying that when people feel valued at whatever they want to do, they will deliver better results. So these are the two key examples or takeaways from your project, which says inclusive leadership and don't delegate. Uh, Delegate, but don't over do things of over policing people to see what they are doing. So very good examples, which most of us can relate to, and these are two of the basic things that make any project successful. What you could have done better in your speech, since this was a project, you could have at least illustrated it with a couple of slides or with a couple of data points to say how you progressed from where you were and how you kind of got to where you were, and also some of the key challenges that you faced even when you were implementing inclusive leadership, and not too much of delegation, not too much of policing of people. What are some of the challenges that you face? If you can incorporate those 2 points also, the speech will be taken to the next level. But otherwise, it was a very, very good speech. Thank you very much, and all the very best to you. So that was the evaluation of Toastmaster Uma's speech.